Has happened. It is real. Antonio Conte is the new man in charge at Tottenham Hotspur this Tuesday lunchtime. My goodness, what a story. And what kind of an impact will he have? Because everywhere he goes, he writes headlines at that club, and that club invariably wins trophies. And Conte has been speaking. He says, I cannot wait to start working to convey to the team and the fans the passion, mentality and determination that have always distinguished me as a player and as a coach. And interestingly, Conte for the first time says why it's happening now, and he didn't join Tottenham before. He says, last summer, our union did not happen because at the end of my relationship with Inter was still too recent and emotionally too involved with the end of the season. So I felt that it wasn't the right time to return to coaching. And he says significantly, the contagious enthusiasm and determination of Daniel Levy in wanting to entrust me with this task had already hit the mark. Now that opportunity has returned, I have chosen to take it with great conviction. Wow, you gotta love that. I love the way he speaks. You can hear the passion coming through.
What a load of
can't you?
old cobblers.
Well, you would say that, but you're an old cynic. Alex Croot joins us live. Alex, good afternoon. You've been across this from day one. The man to my right said this would never happen. He's embarrassed again. It has happened. What's your take on it?
That's the best thing he said for ages.
Is Alex with us? We just gave him the big build-up and we couldn't hear him. So Conte has been talking this lunchtime, and the managing director of football, Fabio Paratici, is saying this. And don't forget, he was absolutely instrumental in bringing this man Conte to Tottenham. He says this lunchtime, we're delighted to welcome Antonio to the club. His track record speaks for itself with vast experience and trophies in both Italy and England. I know firsthand the qualities Antonio can bring us, having worked with him at Juve, and look forward to seeing his work with our talented group of players. And Tottenham tell us this lunchtime. Further news on Antonio's coaching staff will follow in due course. So Conte is in there, a serial winner, and now he's going to turn it around at Tottenham and win at the football club. I mean, Simon, honestly, there is no way that you can play down the passion that this guy exhibits. I love his vocabulary, the passion, the mentality, the determination that have always distinguished me as a player and a coach. And that, he says, is what he swears blind he'll bring to Tottenham.
Yeah, and so he should do. He's getting paid £15 million a year. It's the very least they can expect from him. This is a statement that's been put out to talk about the opportunity that's in front of him now. I look through it and say, OK, he didn't join Tottenham because he was having a difficult time leaving Inter Milan. Nonsense. The deal wasn't right for him. The finances weren't right. The bending over opportunity that Daniel Levy will now give him, in terms of Daniel's going to bend over and let him have what he wants, is probably more to do with it. Yeah. I've never heard anyone describe Daniel, in all of my experiences of him, as having contagious enthusiasm and determination to keep the balance sheet working. Well, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but why not? This is Conte's moment.
Sure it is.
Let him have
but
it.
Let's look behind the lines and say, OK, what have we got? We've got a manager that's going to go into Tottenham Hotspur and change the direction of travel, because he's going to have a very different outlook than previous ones that have been in situ. He is a packaged, fully fledged, current champion of a particular league. Right, he's left because they wanted to sell Romelu Lukaku and they couldn't continue to support the regime that he wanted, which is the consistent evolvement of Inter Milan financially. If Daniel Levy is now going to change the DNA of himself and turn himself inside out to give Antonio Conte what he wants and support him with huge resources, then we're going to see a wonderful marriage that we're all going to wish that we were bridesmaids at. But in this instance, I can't see Daniel doing that. But what you've got now is somebody in the building at Tottenham Hotspur that must satisfy the ambition of Tottenham fans. Mustn't it?
It must do, Simon. I mean, it's incredible when you look at what this guy has done, both as a player and as a coach, and what he brings to Tottenham at this time of crisis. And it's not a word that should be overplayed. It is a crisis at Tottenham. No. They've had a nightmare with Nuno Espirito Santo.
No, it's not
he
a crisis.
had 17 games in charge, Simon.
It's not a crisis.
It's blown up in their faces.
Crisis is sitting second to bottom in the league. That's a crisis. A crisis or a difficult set of circumstances which they have now acted expeditiously to resolve is not a crisis. What could become a crisis is if Antonio Conte doesn't gel well with the mix of Tottenham players and the marketplace he wants to operate in. That could become a crisis, because you could find yourself in a situation where your third huge announcement, Gareth Bale, Jose Mourinho, and now Conte, becomes a problem for them, but I expect Conte to do significant things. The only thing I don't understand, and maybe it's because it's the vogue now, an 18-month contract, I know it takes him to the end of 2023, right?
Yeah.
So it fits into those sort of time spans. But why would you bring somebody in to do a job without the toolkit there? Chelsea had the toolkit. They clearly had the toolkit. But Tottenham don't have the toolkit yet.
But why give him a long-term deal?
Because it's a long-term project, isn't it?
They've got to protect their interests if it blows up.
But Conte's nailed on, isn't he? Isn't he the real deal? Isn't that the speech that we're saying? Conte, you've just given it. This guy
well, you're
is
the
a
man
serial
that
winner.
10 managers in your
but
10
that's not,
years.
Don't switch the point. We're talking about Conte.
That is the point.
We're talking about. Well, I gave him all 3-year contracts. So now, what's your point?
Yeah, but,
Right,
Simon.
so here we go again. He's got a long-term project to build Tottenham. Do you believe, as we sit here today, you and I, honestly, Tottenham are going to be turned into a team that's going to overturn the current top 4 in the next 18 months with what they've currently got?
He's going to give it a serious tilt as soon as he hits the ground running.
In 18 months.
That's exactly what he does. He said the same thing at Inter Milan. I'm going to turn it around here. We're going to win the Scudetto.
From a better starting
Everybody
position,
there said, no, you won't. You won't. He did.
From a better starting position is the setting. Chelsea, the model has been actually proven by Thomas Tuchel that you can give them an 18-month contract. In 6 months' time, you turn it into a 3-year deal, right? Because they've proven their case, right? So are Tottenham suggesting that he needs to prove himself, or is Antonio Conte saying to Tottenham, I'm not sure about you lot, so I'm going to give you 18 months of my time? Which one is it?
I think, to be honest, I'm not surprised at it. I would be very surprised if they announced at lunchtime he's on a 4-year deal and we wish him well. That doesn't happen anymore. It won't work. It doesn't work.
Well, who doesn't it work with?
I would have thought. You're bringing in a guy who could blow up at any moment. What's the point in giving him a 4 to 6 year deal?
What contract did Brendan Rodgers sign? What contract did Jurgen Klopp sign? These guys that are running these football clubs. It's very surprising to me he's coming for 18 months. But then the blueprint has been set, and I concur with you that Thomas Tuchel came in on an 18-month contract and backed himself.
Yeah.
Right? But the situation with Chelsea, I think, was slightly different, is that they clearly had all the ingredients. They had a playing squad that they just spent nearly 200 million quid on in the summer. Now, reverse that out and look at Tottenham. What have they bought in during the summer? 50, 60 million pounds of players that people are saying, hello, these aren't good enough.
The fact of the matter is, when you said it wouldn't, it's happened.
And
he's in. He's in.
And as you analyse it, as me and Danny were saying, can't see this happening. And as we began to see all the moving pieces come to, hang on a second, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Paratici's over there. He's at Juventus. He was with Juventus. Maybe there's a sea change. Daniel Levy has pulled himself inside out and changed his vantage point on things.
Okay,
and
whatever way you want to look at it, it is a massive story and a massive coup for this football club. Nuno Espirito Santo being screamed at by his own fans as recently as Saturday evening is now out the door, and the man that many people said would not go to Tottenham has gone to Tottenham. Conte is in there. Yes, it's an 18-month deal. He's getting 15 million quid for the privilege, and now can he turn it round? Tottenham fans, what do you think? You back him? Give us a call this lunchtime. Get in the blower, because this, whatever way you look at it, is a seismic story this lunchtime in football. 03717 223344.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning 10 till 1 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.